Hi guys, Coach Tyler from Findlay Jiu-Jitsu Academy here with another video, and the topic of the video is when to move into other classes, like how I know if I'm ready for the next class. That's the topic of the video. I think this goes without saying if you're a professor of jiu-jitsu that watches this video, that it's kind of like we roll our eyes at it a little bit, because the answer is, oh, you tell me. Today? Probably today. We got class today, you know. That's the answer for it. And moving into certain different classes, especially, we always recommend, if you got one stripe on your white belt, like, yeah, what are you waiting for? You know, move into other classes, get around more jiu-jitsu. I had a gentleman that came in, he's from one of our neighboring academies, and they're a newer academy, and they have a bunch of white belts and stuff. And he says that over there, it's a lot of, it's a lot of muscle, it's a lot of force, and much less technique. I told him absolutely, that's normal. I mean, that's how things are. When you have less knowledge in the room floating around, people are trying to be, use whatever they can. And also, culturally speaking, with a lot of newer people, they don't understand the difference between training and competing sometimes, So you got a lot more, energy, you got a lot more aggression, you got a lot more people trying to win. That's a lot of times the problem too. So he had told me that when he stopped over here, he was like, he rolls with a couple of purple belts and blue belts. I'm a black belt. And he was like, I get my ass whooped still, but he's like, I learned so much more, and I'm able to, see kind of some of my mistakes. And some of the guys, he goes, and I feel, and this was the big thing too, he said, I feel a lot safer as well. I'm like, yeah, because they know what they're doing. My purple belt Eric, he's worried about himself, yeah, but he's also, he worries about that other guy too, because he knows he's rolling with a white belt, and that's what we do, like when we're training. At least that's what you should do. Culturally speaking, that's what we try to force onto our students here, not even shy about it, as in be cool. When people start out with jiu-jitsu, help them out a little bit. They're gonna put their hand there, all right, yeah, you're gonna show them why that's a mistake sometimes, but also, you're not trying to do everything you can just to sub the white belts. It's it's something where I would tell one of my veteran students, I don't know, your shield guard stinks. Why don't go play shield guard, Go work on some of the things that you do bad, especially the gentleman that I'm talking about, he's only been doing jiu-jitsu for a couple of months. So, in general, if you go to an open mats and you want to get work with everyone that's there, then get work with everyone that's there. I won't hear it sometimes when I got a purple belt that says oh, I only have white belts to roll with. I'm like, imagine if black belts had the same mentality all the time. It'd be terrible. That culturally speaking, it's oh God, I gotta roll with these purple belts. Y'all ain't, kings of the mountain either. So it's help people. And then also, it's those are your teammates and your homies. I get it. You're not giving out private lessons or anything, but we want to foster a growth and kind of nurtures a system of getting better all the time. That's what we try for here at Findlay Jiu-Jitsu Academy. So when we got people going into classes, moving around a little bit, you go with that purple belt, he'll show you the mistakes, but it's not just mush city and see how many times we can tap out white belts and stuff. And that's not the mentality of training. That's not getting better. And so my advice to people when they think that they're, hey, when am I going to be ready? Now, you're ready now. Go show up at class. So if you are, got a couple stripes on your white belt and your academy allows it, I get it. Some academies have different opinions on who can move on to the next class and things like that too. I think it's a little ridiculous in my opinion, especially when you're talking with adults and things. But if you're really worried about it too, go ask your instructor too. And if it's an FJJ instructor, I'm sure he's going to tell you about the same thing I'm going to. The time is now. Go show up at class, because more jiu-jitsu is going to get you better at jiu-jitsu. That's it. And also being around, good teammates within the academy that are higher ranking, they're gonna dump so much more of that jiu-jitsu knowledge onto you. We have a gentleman in here in the academy that just got his blue belt, and I had a weekend guy that came in, and I don't often see him, but he's like, man, you know, how's Eric getting so good? And I'm like, because Eric shows up. He goes to my class, and he goes to Coach Stern's class, and he'll go to Coach Bob's in the mornings sometimes, and he'll go to Coach Gary's. And I'm like, sounds like he's getting a lot of jiu-jitsu, and a lot of good jiu-jitsu from a lot of different angles, and he's absorbing it, and he's sponging it up, because that's the answer. That's how you get better at it too. So when's the time to move to the next class? Well, you know, especially after you get a stripe on your belt, today, you know. And if you got any questions on that, always feel free, talk to your instructor too. Ask after class, or, you know, a few minutes before, if you could have some time with them, and just ask them. And if you have a concern, sometimes bringing it out loud is the easiest thing, and maybe you know the answer in your head, but maybe the answer is, yeah, hey, ask your instructor, and, you know, get your answer from them, because that's probably what they'll say, like, yeah, go for it, you can do it, you know. So get on the mats, guys. That's the whole point of that one too. So thank you for watching the video, guys. See you guys soon.